You probably have a dream life. You might not know exactly the details of it or how you're gonna get there, but you know one thing for sure. You don't want an average life. And that's the type of people I like to attract on my channel. I want to attract high achievers, people that are ambitious, visionary, and willing to do the work. And this last part is especially important because you need to be willing to sacrifice things for that dream life that you want. And if you understand that you need to put in the work, that distinguishes you and me from other people. Because most people want to do what's easy. Most people just want to wish for something, sit back and do nothing, and just hope that one day their dream life will just happen to them. We understand that having a dream life actually actualize itself doesn't happen by luck. It's by being disciplined. That's why you click on this video. You know how important it is to be disciplined. And being disciplined is basically having the ability to stay focused on your goals despite how you feel. I'm so happy that you get that because that is actually the hardest thing to teach. Most people just want the quick fix or the big change in their life without paying the price. And actually, I wish that could happen as well. But we understand that it doesn't work like that. And those same people 10, 20, 50 years from now will end up in the same place that they've been, or maybe even worse, with full of regrets. They will think, what if they did the work? We are choosing to not be a victim and instead take ownership of our life. And this is already a good sign that we are steps ahead than the majority of people. But the problem that you're probably experiencing right now is that, yes, you understand that you need to be disciplined, but it doesn't make it easier the fact that you know you need to be disciplined. You probably struggle with staying consistent. And when you're not consistent, you start doubting yourself. You start feeling like you might not get that life that you want to have. And it's even harder because there's a good chance that you're the only person in your friend group that is on this self-improvement journey, that wants to be disciplined and do what most people are not willing to do. And then you start feeling like an alien, even amongst the people that are the closest to you. You don't feel understood. And then even worse, you'll start believing that maybe you're meant to stay average. Your lizard brain will kick in and tell you, oh, it's comfortable where you're at. It's okay to be like everybody else. You'll be average like everybody else. And that is an okay life because that feels easy. And maybe it's not that bad after all. Do not fool yourself. Again, this is your lizard brain speaking. It's not the highest version of yourself. Everyone has those same thoughts. The thoughts that when things get hard, you want to give up because it's just uncomfortable. And that you might be okay for real having a comfortable life, but that is not the life of your dreams. You have to fight those thoughts. You have to fight your lizard brain that's telling you to stay average. And the moment that you decide to not listen to that, you will be ahead of 99% of people because everyone that's on this journey is feeling this difficult times. It feels so uneasy to be disciplined. But if you overcome that, you will be ahead of 99% of people. Most people are not willing to do the work. Most people quit when things get hard. So if you don't quit, you will succeed. You will be ahead of the game. You will be part of the top 1%. So how can you stay consistent? Because the reason why you're quitting when things are disciplined, or you might not think that you're quitting, but the fact that you just simply cannot stay consistent is because it's getting just too hard to be disciplined. So what if there was a way to make discipline feel easy? And I feel like that's what you want to have because that's why you clicked on my video. And I'm excited to tell you that there is a way to make discipline easy. And the reason why I know this is because this is what has happened in my life for me to be in the top 1% of my career. If you don't know who I am, my name is Bianca St. George and I'm a professional soccer player. I play in the most competitive league in the world. I am part of that 1% of people that actually becomes a pro athlete. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world. Yet I play soccer for a living. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm saying that to give you credibility that I know what it takes to be disciplined. And it wasn't hard at first, but it became easy because it simply became part of who I am. And now that I'm a pro athlete, I know that I will retire earlier than most people because athletes do. So I'm thinking about transitioning from life after sports and how I want to be when sports are over. And that requires me to be very disciplined in my life outside of sports because I need to start working on my self-development. That's the journey I've been on for the past few years. I've been trying to self-improve, to get to know myself better, to develop my skills, to understand and know what I want for the future to look like for me. But the coolest thing is realizing that the skills that I needed to do to become disciplined in my sports is translatable into other areas of my life. It's the same principles. So once you learn the foundation of discipline and you learn how to master it in one aspect of your life, you can literally apply it anywhere else. And this is what I'm doing with my YouTube channel. It's with developing my personal brand. It requires discipline for me to do that. But because I figured out how to be disciplined in my sport, I realized it's the same thing for any goals that I have. So this is what I want to give to you today. I want to give you the 5 principles that makes discipline easy. And the reason why you really want to lock in with that is because think about your dream life, the highest version that you want to become. Once you are disciplined and live up to that potential, the whole world around you will change. Your environment will change. Things will have to match up to that new vibrancy that you live at. And not only will you be able to inspire others to do the same, but you will leave a legacy. You will be living that dream life. You will feel fulfilled. Being disciplined is the key to get what you want. There is no other way around it. So I'm so happy that you're choosing this time right now out of anything that you could do to listen to my video, to invest in yourself, to know exactly what you need to know for you to make discipline part of who you are and have it easy. The first principle to mastering self-discipline is to put in the reps. The more that you practice discipline, the more it becomes part of who you are and the easier it gets. I kind of alluded that earlier, saying that that's how it happened in my life, but I want to drill that into you because there is no way that you can escape this. There is no shortcut to this. Everyone wants to be self-disciplined. If it were easy, everyone would have it. There's a reason why it's hard, but it's also very hard because just like any skill or anything you're trying to change, it takes time, it takes practice, and you must be willing to put in the reps to get better because right now you're a beginner and you're gonna suck and you're gonna fail, and that's okay. You need to keep trying again and put in the reps. Just like a muscle, the first rep you do a bicep curl, you're not gonna have a huge bicep, but the more you do the reps, the more you train your bicep, the bigger it grows. You have to treat discipline the same way. You have to understand that it will get easier the more you do it because it will simply be part of who you are. It will be ingrained in you. So let me give you an example of self-discipline in my life. When I was younger, I never used to go to the gym. I only started going to the gym when I went to college. And the reason why I am talking about this story is because when I got there as a freshman, after the first week of preseason, I wanted to quit. I thought that the workouts in the gym were so hard. I couldn't eat that whole week because I was so sick after every workout. And I just didn't feel like I was meant for that. But luckily, I was with teammates that were all in the same boat and we just stuck together and just trusted the process. But that was easy because I had a trainer tell me what to do. I had a trainer tell me what reps. They were literally holding me accountable. But when season was over and it became off season and it was the summer and I had to be home, I had to do the workouts on my own. And I had to prepare for the next preseason where I would have to go back. And I knew that I did not want to be unprepared like I was the year prior. So I had to be disciplined for the first time working in the gym by myself. And that was really hard. It wasn't the most consistent summer. Also, I didn't have the resources. It was very chaotic, but the one thing that kept me going, and this is a trick that you can use for yourself, is thinking that if I'm not disciplined, how bad will it feel once I'm in that future, once I'm in preseason. So think about your life when you're trying to be disciplined for something and you want to quit and you don't want to do it. Think about what your life will look like if you're not disciplined, how much harder and more miserable your life will be if you're not being disciplined right now. So I stuck to it. And right now, fast forward 10 years, I'm in off season at the moment, but as a pro athlete. I've had 10 years of experiences from being in off season and having to be disciplined. And now it's so easy for me to go to the gym because I have built that skill. I literally went to the gym right before I'm starting to film this video, even though like no one's telling me to go. It's all on my own, but I can do it. Even though it's not like the most exciting thing that I have to do, I just do it because it's just what I gotta do. It doesn't take nearly as much effort to do it. So just trust that if you put in the reps, it will get easier. That's just the main message. So you gotta get humble a little bit and realize that it's going to take time, but at least you can trust in this process. The second thing to make discipline feel easy is to believe that it's going to work. When you believe that your disciplined actions will lead you to the success that you want, that will increase commitment. Because there's a lot of times people do things, they're trying to be disciplined, but they don't really realize that it's going to actually give them what they want because you don't get the immediate result. It's more than understand. You have to believe that when you do the thing, everything matters. Your brain is programmed to reaffirm your beliefs. So if you have negative beliefs about yourself, that it's not going to work out, that you're not good enough, that you're not meant for this, your brain will conspire against you to make that a reality. It's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You are literally your own enemy. You're the only one that stands in the way. And I'm not saying you, I'm saying your negative thoughts or your negative beliefs. So you need to actually believe that when you're being disciplined, you're going to get what you want. You have to act like you're going to already get your dream life because you're doing the work. And it's true. If you put in the work, you're going to get rewarded. That's how manifestation works. Why do you think it's so popular? It's because people are disciplined and follow through and they see it happen. If you remember from your English class, you had learned about some fallacies. Confirmation bias is one of them. It's basically your brain always confirming the beliefs that you have. You will always look for signs to reaffirm what you already believe. So you have to make sure that you truly believe in yourself, that you truly believe in the work that you're doing, and it's going to give you what you want. You have to take the time to see this. It's so underrated. And let's say you're someone that does have negative self-talk or like beliefs that don't serve you. Just so you know, you don't have to believe everything that you think. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts kind of come and visit you, but that is not who you are. You need to exercise your free will, the choice to believe or not believe your thoughts. That is up to you. Your brain will always want to do what's lazy. It wants to save energy. That is like our primal self. When I say like our lizard brain, it's basically like the most primal things that your brain wants to do. It's to make sure that you do the bare minimum just to stay alive, because that's all it cares about. But we live in such a beautiful age where we can literally reach for our potential. We have that opportunity. This is so awesome. Sometimes I have to step back and think about the fact that we are living in such a good times. We are so lucky. So we have the opportunity to live up to our potential. That is a choice that you can make. But your brain doesn't really know that. It's your higher self that knows that. So when I have negative self-talk, which happens, I like to imagine that those thoughts are not necessarily me, but they're like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Okay, stick with me. When you think about Eeyore, he's the donkey. He's the one that is super pessimistic, sad, depressed. And when I have those thoughts, I try to remove myself and look at those thoughts like they're Eeyore, and I just want to give them a big hug. Because I'm not going to shame myself for having those thoughts. I didn't control the fact that those came in. I'm just going to be, I'm here for you. I understand that you're a deep thinker. That's how Eeyore was. He was a deep thinker. He would think all the possible scenarios, and obviously it feels discouraging when you think about everything, but that doesn't matter because in the present moment, there's only a few things that you can actually control. So you just have to let that go. If you feed into the negative thoughts, you end up overanalyzing, feeling paralyzed, procrastinating, and then you feel bad for doing that behavior. So then you will soothe yourself with self-sabotaging behaviors. Maybe you drink, maybe you smoke weed, maybe you watch TV, maybe you scroll, maybe you play video games, maybe you go partying. It doesn't matter. We all self-sabotage in our own ways, and that is always to soothe the fact that we are not taking action. We are not being disciplined. We are not doing the work that we need to be doing. So when I have those negative thoughts, I remove myself and I just kind of be, thank you for making me aware of all the possible things that could go wrong and how I've messed up in the past, but I'm in the present moment right now and I can make a better decision. There are things that I can control and I will focus on that. Do you want to know the fastest way to believe in yourself right now? Here's how to do it. Just do it. Decide to believe in yourself. And I know you might think, oh, that's so easy. It's not as easy as you think. No, it is as easy as you think if you choose to be. I wish I didn't stutter here. But basically, my point is you can choose to believe whatever you want to believe in the present moment. You don't have to hold on to your past. You don't have to hold on to the mistakes of everything you've done wrong in the past. All that matters is right now. Give yourself the permission to believe in yourself because no one else can give you the self-belief that you need. You're the only one that can give that to yourself. And the moment that you don't believe in yourself, you're never going to achieve what you want to achieve. So just know that the moment you decide to believe in what you can do and just trust that you can figure it out, you will get what you want. And that makes discipline so much easier because you can trust that you're going to get that dream life that you desire. Now, the third thing to make discipline feel easy is to know what you want. When you know what you want and you feel connected to that authentically, it's so much easier to do the things to get there because we are driven by desires as human beings. The biggest mistake that you might be doing is thinking about the job title that you want or where you want to live, the car you want to have, some sort of results or outcome. That's not what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about what you want, I'm specifically speaking about the feeling that you want. Because ultimately, think about it. When you want something, it's the feeling that you associate with that thing. So it's not inherently the outward thing that you're chasing. It's whatever it makes you feel from achieving that thing. So I want you to think about the 3 core buckets of like human desires: health, wealth, and relationships. If you think about health, maybe you desire feeling this sort of peace, this energy, this aliveness. If you think about wealth, maybe you want security, you want abundance, you want opportunities. If you think about relationships, maybe you want connection, you want exploration, you want love, you want authenticity. So think about a time in your life where you have been disciplined and you've gotten results and how it made you feel. What is that word associated with that feeling? You need to know exactly what that is. For me, I realized this year, this is really exciting. I realized that the thing that I want to feel is fulfillment. And I got a glimpse of that this summer. Like that came as a revelation that I needed to feel fulfilled in my life. It was like a desperate need. I realized that when I hosted the 30-day self-improvement challenge in July that you might have, like, maybe you know me from that challenge. And every week I would do meetings where I would do a presentation about a certain thing that we wanted to work on. And at the end, we would do a Q&A. And the feeling that I had while I was speaking with you was a sense of complete fulfillment. I felt like I was doing my best of my ability in that moment to impact other people in a positive way. It felt so good. And that just was a feeling that I was like, I need to do things to give me that again. So the following week, it was easier and easier to show up, to do the presentations, to have the meetings, to interact with people because it gave me that feeling. So it made discipline easy. It made the work throughout the week easy to prepare for the meetings because I knew I would get that certain feeling at the end. And that is a feeling that you cannot replicate with drugs and alcohol. For example, you could easily get the boost of dopamine when you smoke weed, but then the next day you will feel shitty. And then over time, it will destroy your life. I know I'm like extrapolating, but just think about if you prioritize drugs and alcohol over leaving a legacy, one is going upwards and the other one is slowly going downwards as the years go on. So you can only get that sense of pure fulfillment through discipline. You cannot get those feelings through anything else that gives you instant gratification. If you have a hard time figuring out what you want, I have a free course and I have a video that I'm going to put here, but I have a free course on my private community that goes through the step-by-step. So you can access it there, and I will put the first link in my description, the link to my private community. Now, the fourth thing to make discipline feel easy is to have clarity on the what. So if you think about earlier, it was a bit more about the why. Why you're doing something, it's to get this certain feeling. But now you need to have clarity on what exactly you need to do. Because as the day goes on, you have decision fatigue and it gets harder and harder to be disciplined. Especially if you're a student or you're someone with a 9 to 5 or you're a parent, it gets really hard for you to be disciplined because you are busy. You have a lot on your plate already. But if you don't have clarity about what you need to do specifically to be disciplined, it's going to make it 10 times harder to be disciplined. You need clarity. Clarity allows you for better decision making. And literally, if you think about it, if you want your dream life, it is the result of making good decisions over and over again. So if you want to make better decisions, you need to be clear about what that best decision is. And you can choose that in advance by planning. This is like the best thing that you can do. You need to do a structure of your perfect day. Write hour by hour, what does your perfect day look like? So 6 to 7 a.m., maybe you're working out. 7 to 7:30, shower and get ready. 7:30 to 8, breakfast. You know the drill. You do that, you lay out, and you put exactly what the highest version of yourself would do at that exact time. And then you just try to follow that schedule every day. And something that I'm going to add to that schedule is a third column where you write the intention next to it, because you need to know why you do a certain thing. This is something that I wouldn't say in the past, but a lot of people sometimes want to have this perfect morning routine, but they don't really follow through because they don't really feel connected to why they do a certain thing. If you just meditate because it's trendy, you're not going to feel like you want to meditate. But if you know why you want to meditate, it's much easier to follow through. So for me, for example, I want to do yoga in the morning. And I want to do it because I'm an athlete, obviously, for a living. So every time I stretch for my sport, it always feels like forceful. It feels like it has a purpose to like get myself ready for training. And I just want to stretch my body in the morning outside of sports, where it's more about connecting with myself, to wake up my body, to feel connected to myself. So because I wrote, for example, for me, it's at 7 a.m. I have to do yoga. I have my intention next to it that says to connect with myself and my body and slowly wake up. That makes it so much easier for me to want to do it because I have the reason why I want to do it and it feels authentic. So this is what I challenge you to do, is to have a structured schedule of your perfect day. And you're not going to follow it perfectly, but at least when you are after work, when you are tired and you're like, I just want to go home and nap, or you're allowed to nap, but I just want to go home and scroll on my phone or do something that is like sabotaging, you can look at your schedule and be like, okay, what would the highest version of myself want me to do right now? And then you just look at it and just try to do it as best as you can. That will allow you to be disciplined so much easier because you know exactly what to do. And if you want to add another layer to this, is to add a certain rules that will make it easier for you to follow the structure. So you could be like, no phone after 8 p.m. or no food after 7 p.m. or call a friend on your way to work in the morning. Like whatever rules that support that dream life of yours, you can add that to yourself. Just think about school. Just think about like your job or your personal trainer. The reason why you do something is because they give you like certain rules that you need to follow. And you do it because that's the rule. So if you do that for yourself and you take yourself seriously, you're going to be able to be disciplined because you're just going to respect what you set out for yourself. So planning is super important. And that will tie into the last point, the fifth point of how to make discipline feel easy. It's that plan once and then commit. You need to follow through what you plan for yourself and not switch tasks. The reason why discipline feels hard, it's not because the task itself got harder. Think about when you plan something, maybe the first day you do it and it feels kind of easy because you're motivated, you're excited. But then a week later, when you're trying to do it again, it just feels hard. It's not because the task itself has changed, it's because you got bored. And when you get bored, you have two options. You either want to set yourself new goals or you just want to go back to your old habits. But whatever those two, they're not good because they make you inconsistent with your plan and you lose discipline. The reason why people lose progress is because they simply don't stay committed. I think this is one of the most important points people forget to think about. They love to get started, but they don't know how to keep going. And that's why I made another course on that for free. I don't know why you wouldn't take advantage of that, because I literally give you free courses on my private community that is how to stay committed. I give you all the points through tracking, through journaling, through resiliency and clarity. Like, I give you all the points that help you follow through. It's all that you need. And if you stick to that, if you stick to those, you will be able to stay committed, and that's how you see progress. There is one point from this course that I want to emphasize here though. You need to accept that you will fail, that you will make mistakes. Even though I'm giving you the basic principles, the foundation to discipline, that once you understand it makes it so much easier. It's not like now everything's going to be perfect. You're going to leave this video and like you have it figured out. You're still going to fail. But the difference between successful people and people that stay mediocre is that the people that have success have failed but decided to pick themselves back up and try again. The people that stay mediocre have failed and then feel bad for themselves and waste all their energy feeling bad for themselves and then give up. If you want to succeed, you simply have to not give up. You just got to keep going. You just got to try again. You don't even realize how many times I have failed at being disciplined. And I'm still part of the top 1%. And I could be so chill right now because my life is really good. I love my life. I'm so grateful that I'm an athlete. I love my job. I love the impact that I have. I love the pay that I get. I feel like I'm so lucky, even though I created my luck, but I still feel extremely lucky. I feel so grateful for my life. I could feel comfortable and do nothing right now and just live in the present moment and be okay. But I'm choosing to be disciplined right now and film a video and try to communicate clearly and get better at this skill because I want a better future for myself. I want to prepare for life after sports. I'm in off season right now. No one's telling me nothing. I can do whatever the F I want. I'm still getting paid. I can literally be partying right now. I could be seeing, I know my friends right now are all seeing each other, but I committed to filming today. So I was like, I can't go. But that's because I have a clear idea of what I want my future to look like. And this is what is required for me to get there. And to circle back, I have failed multiple times at being disciplined. I haven't posted in 2 weeks. I usually post once a week and now it's been 2 weeks. I skipped a week and I feel really bad about that. But if I spend my energy feeling bad about that, I'm not going to post today. I need to lock in and stay focused and give as much value as I can right now because that's the only thing I can control. It's only uphill from here, baby. And I keep getting better and it keeps getting easier. Even doing this video right now, I prepared it today. I filmed it today. I mean, it's so much easier than it used to be. And that's because for a whole year, I've been overall pretty consistent with my YouTube channel. So it just keeps tying back up to the first point that you need to put in the reps and it gets easier. So I hope you trust that once you get disciplined in one aspect of your life, you can literally apply it anywhere else. And if you don't know where to start, just start with your physical health. If you learn how to be fit and healthy, you can do anything because that is really hard, but it's also the best investment that you can do for yourself. Just remember, it gets easier the more you do it. It gets easier when you believe that it will work. It gets easier when you know the feelings that you want to have. It gets easier when you know what you need to do. And finally, it gets easier when you see progress because you've been committed to your plan. So this is how to make discipline easy. I know this might not have been the video that you were thinking of getting. I don't know what you were expecting, but I'm so grateful you watched until the end and I hope you trust that you have everything you need to go after it. Now, I hope you leave this video. Maybe leave me a comment about anything because I love reading the comments and you just get after the dream life that you want. Don't waste any time. If you want to access my private community, it's the first link. And then the second link will be my newsletter for personal stories where I try to give people the most private insights of my life through that. So I will see you very soon in a new video. Okay? Love you so much. Mwah.